Compass directions, number one, we just got to find the compass directions for this diagram. We see that this thing is trying to go north, but it's being pulled 15 degrees toward the east, and so that's how we write it. We just write 15 degrees east of where we're trying to go is north. So 15 degrees east of north. Any questions there? This is transformations, 3 questions. The vertices of a triangle are P, Q, and R. Name the vertices of the image reflected in the y-axis. If we reflect in the y-axis, what coordinate is going to change and how? The x-coordinate is going to be what? It's going to be opposite what it is, right? What's going to happen to the y-coordinate? It's just going to stay the same, because if we reflect in the y, we're staying the same height, and the y-coordinate tells us about the height. So if we just keep all the y's the same and change the sign of all the x's, we'll have those points all reflected. Question 3 is the hardest one out of this group. It says we start with a point at 0, -3. We're going to reflect that point twice and then try to figure out where it ends up. So I'm going to let this represent my xy grid. I'm going to start at 0, -3, which is approximately right here. I'm going to reflect that in the line y = 1, which is approximately right here. How far am I away? -3 up to 1. How far away am I? 4. So I have to go 4 past this 1. If I go 4 past 1, I should be at 5, right? So right now I'm at 0, 5. I'm 5 high up there. Now I got to go across x = -1. Well, x = -1 is going this way. So how far away am I here? 1. So if I go to -1 and then go 1 past that, where am I going to be over here? -2. So I'm going to end up at -2 and stay at that height 5. So -2, 5. The last one's asking us for a vector that describes a translation of 10 units to the left and 3 units up. Try to remember when you do your vectors that they got to have the angle brackets, not the parentheses, because you're just naming a vector, not a point. Any questions here? Number 41, concept 41, symmetry. How many lines of symmetry does this one have? 3. They're about right. One from each vertex, right? One about right there and one about right there. If I drew these right, they'd all hit them the same point, but I missed on this one, obviously, and a little bit on that one. That one's pretty close. So there's going to be 3 lines of symmetry. This one, if we rotate that thing so that it ends up in the same spot, how many degrees would we have to rotate it? Do you see this going on here? If I can get it to rotate that angle, just right here, it's going to end up in the same place. So if I take the full 360 and divide by 3, I'm at 120 degrees. So 120 degrees is going to be the angle that we need to rotate through. Any questions there? Areas of polygons. Number 7 asks us to find the area of the figure. They want us to assume, I guess, that this is a parallelogram. How do you find the area of a parallelogram? Base times height. So we're going to take 24 times 32. That comes out to 768. And they gave us inches, so this is square inches. Any questions there? Here we go. Number 8, how to do a little work too. So on number 8, you can just lay out a little bit of grid here, just to give you a guide. -3, -1 is about right here. I'm going to write that down so I can refer to it. 8, -1 is about right here. 0, 6 we're going to say is about right here. And finally 11, 6 is about right here. If we connect up the sides, we see the parallelogram appear. And we just got to find the area of that parallelogram. So to find the area, if we've got the formula down, it's just base times height. How far is this base across here from -3 up to 8? 11. And then the height, how far is it from -1 up to +6? 7. So 11 times 7 is 77. They didn't give us any units, so it's just square units. Number 9, a little more of a thinking problem. They say the area is 160, the height is 20. They say find the base. So instead of giving us a base and a height and saying find the area, they're giving us an area and a height and saying find the base. Well, we know the formula is area equals base times height. The area is 160, the height is 20, and the base is the thing we don't know, so we just have to find it. How are we going to find B from this equation? Divide by 20. If we divide by 20, we get B equals 8. These are in centimeters, so this should be in centimeters. So we got 8 centimeters. Any questions here?